We are going to hike the Narrows this morning and I'm a little nervous. I really don't like being cold and the water is going to be freezing and we're probably going to get wet even though we have equipment. Okay, first test, definitely have water inside. And I'm just nervous that I'm going to be freezing the whole time. The sun's not quite out. It's going to be through a canyon, so I imagine we won't get hit by much, but I'm still excited. Just a little nervous.
To hike the Narrows this time of year, the water's a little chilly, so I would say maybe not required, but highly recommended you get some of the specialized gear.
And rather than renting it, we figured, hey, we're adventurous, we might as well buy some. We'll probably use it in the future. Some of it's multi-purpose with skiing, so we bought it.
Plus, some of the outfitters don't open till 7 or 8 a.m., which means we wouldn't be on the first shuttle, it'd be a little bit more crowded, so it didn't cost us really that much more than renting would have anyways.
We'll show you what we got. The first thing we got were these little water socks. Supposedly they keep your feet warm. They're kind of like neoprene material. They're like $15 on Amazon.
Plus we got a bib. This is probably the biggest purchase. It was like 45 bucks or something. We could find another time to use it.
The last thing we got were these water shoes. So most people wear boots, but we were not wanting to buy new boots. We didn't want to rent them. So we figured closed-toed. We didn't have that. We'll use them again in some river.
And then a couple things we already had were hiking poles. Most people use these like river sticks around here, but these will work fine. And we already had a dry sack, so that'll keep us going for the day. I think we're ready. We weren't the only ones who were on the first shuttle this morning, but thankfully most people are hiking that pre-9 a.m. Angel's Landing hike.
So we got off at the Narrows bus stop. It starts with a entry trail. They call it like the riverside walk or something. This nice little sidewalk that meanders down the river, so that's our warm-up.
Yeah, so even if you're not planning to hike the Narrows, like this is a beautiful hike, so definitely worth it here. All right, we'll catch back up when we hit the water. It's gonna be a real test of our gear.
We're here. Eek.
All right, first test of the Amazon gear. What'd you think?
All right, first test, definitely have water inside. That's definite fail, but it wasn't so bad. It was warmish. We'll see.
I think the neoprene socks are working exactly as designed. You know, it's like a wetsuit. They get a little wet, but it's not cold. I don't even know, we haven't felt the water yet, so maybe the water's just like 90 degrees or something, we don't even know. Early observations, none of which I think are a surprise. So definitely the bibs. You get wet to how deep you go, so it might do a little bit, but it's not doing a ton. It is definitely hard to walk. The current is supposedly not super strong. I'm sure it's stronger than it is in the summer when the water's a little bit lower, but it's hard to walk through. And you basically just move from bank to bank, find the shallow spots, keep treading along.
I will say, although I do have water in my bib, I think it helps with the wind, so I'm not cold after I get out of the water, and I feel like usually you would be if you were wet. Ah! All right, thigh high, don't love it. Oh my God, it's so cold.
Quickly. Oh, it really does warm up when you get out though. The trail is about 9 miles. That's what it says on the map at least, which I don't know necessarily. There's only one branch off, so I don't know what that covers, but I can see how that would take a really long time. I thought we might only be out here for a couple hours, but just slow. You're really just going from bank to bank and trying to find routes, and went one way, got up to our waist, decided to go back and reroute. So it's a nice little challenge. If anybody watches that thinking, well, that's silly, now you just have to go back and get that. You are correct.
We haven't mentioned yet, but we've only seen like 6 other people and we're far into this hike. It's so nice to have it to ourselves and just get to explore without anyone around. Waking up early is definitely worth it.
You're definitely rewarded with putting in the work here. The further you get in the canyon, the more narrow it gets, the more the rock formations kind of become unique and they have all these curves, so it continues to get better and better.
I'm so excited. Okay, apparently this is a game where you try and throw your rock up and get it to land on this ledge. I don't think I'm going to be very successful. It might have stayed. I think I knocked another one off.
Hopefully this isn't frowned upon. I should be good. Easy. Easy.
Okay.
Keep pausing to say it's getting amazing and better, and then it keeps doing it even more. I believe this is the infamous area called Wall Street, where it gets really narrow and there's tons of interesting formations. Maybe a clip right after this of like, that definitely wasn't it and this is it, but that's my guess for now.
The sun is finally peeking through the canyon. It feels so nice. But I will say, I have not been as cold as I thought I would be. Gear is definitely coming in handy.
I'd say a solid B+ for the Amazon gear. I would do it again this way. Plus, because I already own the gear. All right, this is as deep as we've been.
It's definitely cold. We've seen almost all the groups that have gone in front of us have turned around at this point. So we're gonna keep going until we feel comfortable and then check out the reverse.
It seems like it's almost like you hike for so long and it's so awesome the whole way. I think you just get to whatever point you're comfortable turning around, or if something stops you, but I don't even know if we'll get that far. All right, well that rock there seems to be the turnaround spot, and it definitely is for us.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get wet up to my chest like a lot of people have so far. We're gonna have a little Pop-Tart break and then start making our way back.
Quick montage back down to the fork. As expected, the crowds are a little bit more noticeable coming back down.
Oh my God, there are so many people.
Here's the turn spot, check it out. This is the fork we saw earlier. We took a right. I think it's called like Orville or something. We'll correct that here in a bit. It's got a little bit more scrambling up some of these small waterfalls perhaps. You can probably go to the right. Yeah, I know my hand. There you go. This tributary, the water is much lower, which is kind of nice. A little change of pace for the hike here, at least so far. I wouldn't say the canyons are quite as impressive, so definitely don't just go right. You can do both, or make sure you go left, stay straight, get to that Wall Street area.
Again, so cool.
End of the line here on this route too. I think we only hiked up maybe a half mile, I would guess, not super far, but it's cool just because it's a little different. And it's snowing!
Why do I still keep going down?
JK, those are just flowers. exhausting 9.5 mile day.
I had pretty high expectations. We've done some really cool like canyoneering, canyon river hikes in the past, and so I was expecting a lot, and it definitely lived up to it.
It was quite an adventure, definitely strenuous, but enjoyed every bit of it.
And if you're curious, I think the bibs were totally worth it that we got from Amazon. I was warm the whole time. I did get wet, but I was still warm.
And that concludes our short weekend trip to Zion, but we loved it. I'm positive we'll be back.
Yeah, so glad we could make a trip out here.